Celebrity with Nene. Alrighty, so we are back for another recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. So today my crew is Johnny and Reese. Alright, so we are going to recap last night's episode. Okay, so last night's episode, it started with them finishing up the fight from last week. Okay, so they're still out celebrating Robin's birthday. This restaurant, and they're arguing and fighting. They're screaming so loud. I saw at one point Alaska was trying to say something. Alaska was trying to say something to them, but she was getting drowned out by the screaming and yelling between Ashley and Candace. Okay, and so there was still a little bit of name throwing. They were just going back and forth, and then finally Candace, I guess she decided to be the bigger person, and she did say to Ashley that she wasn't trying to body shame her, which that was something I was going to ask you ladies about. Do y'all feel like Candace was body shaming Ashley?
Mm-hmm. I did.
I definitely felt like she did.
Because why else would you say why body if you don't mean talking about somebody's body?
Right. That makes sense. Right. I just wish Ashley had a clap back instead of saying, "Well, I see your hair is dry." I wish there was she had a better clap back from that one. And so, Giselle did.
That would have worked. That would have worked if her hair was actually showing and we could see it looking nappy or something.
Dry, yeah.
The fact that it was cute under that, I thought that turban was real cute.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I did too. I did hear her try to make a swipe about the turban, but it didn't quite.
Yeah, because it actually looked good. Like it fits her face and everything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think she was just taken aback, like, because she was already feeling insecure anyway, which carried over from last week with her conversation with her husband. So she was already feeling insecure about your weight, and then you have somebody bring it up while you're eating. It's just kind of I don't think anyone's really prepared for that kind of comeback, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think that if she didn't really mean it in a body shaming way, which I mean she did, but if that's not if that was not her goal, I think it was just to say the one thing that you think would hurt somebody, and if somebody just had a baby, calling them fat would probably be it. So
yeah,
maybe that's what she was trying to say in her apology, although it wasn't a good apology, period.
They do not know how to apologize.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, and that's the funny thing about it. I'm like, they just can't. You're very right, Johnny. They cannot apologize to each other. And so Giselle makes a toast to Robin. She's like, let me make a toast before things get out of hand or whatever. I'm like, they're already out of hand. Like, who does this at a birthday party? They are out of hand. So, she made a toast to Robin, made Robin feel all special. Talking about when she called the girls and invited them to come to Robin. They were like, oh, yeah. I'm like, I don't know if they were necessarily that excited because I never see them hang out with Robin outside of the group setting. But I don't know, maybe that's Robin keeping herself away from them. I don't know. All right, and so I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything from that scene. What do y'all remember anything else that happened in that scene that I might be forgetting?
Is that when Mia brought up the whole Karen
party? Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did bring up that Karen had sent a message through her, about the apology. It kind of fell upon deaf ears because she was just like she said that Karen and Ray will be dead before Karen gets an apology.
Meaning it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like, why are you still throwing around the death word? I was glad that some of the girls was like, you shouldn't say that or whatever. I did. But I was like, that just goes to show you did mean death the first time, or otherwise you wouldn't be saying it again.
Well, I think she's saying, basically, you ain't getting that apology. You'll be dead before I apologize. But I don't think it was on an age thing. Like, I still think they just don't know how to word their stuff.
No, I just think she was just saying it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And even if I did apologize, or if I'm going to apologize, she could even say when I die. Like, it's just not going to happen, is what she's saying.
That's how I probably would have worded it. I would have said, we all will be dead before I apologize.
Yeah, something like that. But it wasn't wishing death on people.
Mm-mm. No, I was just saying, before you get
But
apologize
it's like you didn't even learn. The first time you said it, you saw how it was taken, and then you're still saying it again. But
so I can agree with that, like, because of the fact that we know that's not going to be taken well, don't use that. But I guess when you're mad, you're going to say what you think is going to make somebody else mad, I guess. But just, I don't know.
Well, it seems to me that's how they talk, because in the first season, Karen referenced something about death with one of her comebacks at somebody. So it's all in how they all speak. So I think she forgets when she says certain things that other people mimic.
I don't think Giselle was mimicking there. I'm sorry. I don't think
No, I'm saying like Karen has said the
she
same
said
thing
it
too.
and then she said it again. I think that's just how she talks. She likes to talk like that. I don't think she's
No.
mimicking anybody. I think
Yeah,
that's
but I'm saying Karen said the same thing in the first season. She said something about somebody dying before something happened. So
about
she said the
Giselle.
same thing. Nope, it was about another cast member. I can't remember exactly what episode it was, but Karen said the same thing. So when I say mimic, I mean Karen said it too. So Karen said it, Giselle said it. Let's move on.
So I'm gonna play the devil's advocate because if I hear you say something I shouldn't be saying, I'm not gonna say it and then be like, oh, well, granted, Giselle is not saying this as you saying. I'm not gonna run back and say it and then expect people to say that it's okay that I said it because I heard somebody else said it. I've heard people call other people bitches, but I don't run around calling that person a bitch because I heard somebody else say it.
Yeah, but if it's somebody you don't like, you would say it.
If they made me mad, I would probably say it. But I don't think
they're harboring anger at each other.
I don't think I should be excused from calling somebody a bitch because Reese calls that same person a bitch before. And now I'm just doing it because I heard Reese say it. It's my excuse. No. We're all grown.
Well,
what you're
there's
doing.
no excuse for neither one of them to be mean to each other or whatever. But I'm saying, but if you're mad at somebody, you're not going to be like, let me go out my way to be polite and worry about what other people say. You're going to be like, no, I don't like that, blah, 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 that beepity beep. Keep her name off this conversation, blah, blah, blah. That's how it goes. So for her, when she said it, I don't think she meant like, I hope they die tomorrow. I hope they die. She was saying they'll be dead before I apologize because I'm never going to do it. And yes, it was wrong. And they pointed that out. They were like, this is what's continuing to make it go. But I think that's why she said it too, because she knows that's going to get under Karen's skin. And that's what she wants. She's not trying to be nice to Karen.
Right.
Just like Karen's not necessarily trying to be nice to her either.
Way because Karen wasn't even there to hear it. So if Karen does hear it, she hears it third party.
Well, she know they're gonna say it. She know it'll get repeated.
Right.
Ain't nothing not repeated in that group.
Yeah, nothing's not repeated in that group. So it's just
almost a passive aggressive way of doing it.
Yeah, it is like a passive aggressive way of doing it. And I'm just like, come on, you guys. But yeah, so the next scene was Karen filming her promo. I guess you can call it a promo for Surrey County. But she was actually doing it in Potomac. Which I had some thoughts and opinions about it until I did see today. There was a clip of Karen and she said that was like a practice. She actually recorded a promo and she was in Surrey County when she did it. So, like I said, at first I had some opinions about it, but I was like, I'll leave it alone now that I know you were quote unquote practicing. Even though from the viewers, it looked like that was the real thing. It didn't look like a practice to me. But I don't know. What did you ladies think?
Well, I mean, she said it, I guess, in the thing that is a practice, but it doesn't make sense because they were actually filming and refilming, like, oh, the wind is blowing. So if you're worried about the wind and all this other stuff, then why it doesn't matter if it's a practice? If you're just trying to get I'm going to sit in a gazebo in what is it, Surrey County? And I'm going to slide down the slide over there in that county, but I'm practicing it here, then it really don't matter. You mess up and, I wouldn't been practicing in no white outfit out there in that dirty park. Like, I don't know. It just, to me, it's weird for that to not been the real thing. But
Right.
Yeah.
and then two, I don't know that I would have filmed and let them hear me saying that Fred Market or that fish market. Because I mean, it's like, it showed that she kind of out of touch with her community too, her city.
Oh, when she came back.
Yeah, because maybe, I mean, if you've been gone for a long time, you don't go there all the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there may be places, maybe when she grew up, she wasn't eating there or stopping there, but that's a spot to go to now. But I probably would have had them edit that out. They don't put that in there. It was good for the viewers, but at the same time, if I'm the ambassador, it kind of don't look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't really seem to know much of Surrey County to have to be told all about it growing up there. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Hey, so our next scene was Candace and Chris. So they still have some hostility between them. Candace is still upset that he won't be going to the shoot. They show her, she pulls up to the house. She's been rehearsing, I guess, for the video shoot. And she notices that Chris is drinking. And I'm assuming it's supposed to be early in the morning.
Oh, it's like 4 p.m.
Oh, it's 4 p.m.? Okay. So maybe not. All right. So she sees, Chris drinking. So you can tell that kind of upset her a little bit more. And so they talk about, the not the photo shoot. I keep want to call it a photo shoot, but it's not.
Video.
It's the video shoot. Okay. So they're talking about it. And I was trying to think of my biggest point about what happened with that. All right. Well, they end up basically kind of coming to some kind of resolution with their feelings. Her and him start crying. They hug and cry some. What did you think about the scene, Reese?
So I'm glad to see them kind of come together and talk about it because I feel like they were kind of talking at each other at the restaurant. And she, like we said last week, she was being real disrespectful to him. And I think she is getting into a me, all about me mentality. So I'm kind of glad that he stood his ground and still, and then when she said, whoa, looking at him like, are you drinking? And he's like, yeah, because you getting on my nerves. It's making me want to drink. I'm kind of glad he said all that because I feel like by him, if he didn't say that, she was just going to run over him. And if what he's doing is working and contributing to the household, yes, he got to do better and be there for her too. But I think she's trying to make it to where that's all he does. And if that's all he's going to do, you need to be paying him.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of glad he stood his ground on it. But yeah, at the same time, he still took the time to understand why she was upset too. And they both agreed, like, we can't be mad, and he still was like, so was this in place? Was this, because I mean, he's still doing his job, I guess, as her husbander, even though he's not present there. It seems like he's still organizing stuff and doing all of that. So I don't know. I guess because like I know she's famous for the little cry with the little napkin. So that part kind of like, and I know she's crying, I guess, but I wish I could cry like that. Because when I cry, man, my face is so ugly and it's just tears pouring down, nose start running. And every time she cried, no matter how serious it seems to be, she's able to control it to one eye. And I'm like, how's she doing that? So that made me feel like, is it real or not? Or I don't know. But
Yeah.
so I feel some kind of way. And then when he did it, I'm like, was he crying? Because I don't know.
I couldn't tell if he was really crying or not.
Or was he having a moment with her and just like, you gonna make me cry? But I was like, it was cute, but not cute. But cute, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell that he was crying or not. It just seemed, I think he was being extra.
Yeah.
Because, with her, it's extra. I don't believe she was really crying. I think she got a little emotional maybe, but overall, Chris isn't going to let her walk all over him anyway. I don't know if you've ever seen any of their other arguments before in the past, but he doesn't let her control him, I guess, or manipulate him like that anyway. So I think he's comfortable saying how he feels I just think he knows now when to do it. Like confronting her and going off on her in the restaurant wouldn't have gotten him anywhere. Waiting a few days and letting her come to him, or because she was kind of rude when she came in. He spoke first, you know. So I just think I'm glad that they talked it out and worked it out. It does seem like he gives a lot of his time to do her stuff and not be paid for it. If it was a woman doing that, would we be sitting here talking crazy about the woman not getting paid? So
you know what? And it's very true. I feel like there's almost a double standard going on because I feel like if it was flipped around, like we'd be like, oh, you know, let's say it was Candace was the one, was the wifager, whatever. Would we feel that exact same way? You know, and would she have been able to say some of the things that, or would he have been able to say some of the things that Candace said or make her feel that way? I feel like it wouldn't have happened that way. I felt like, you know, somebody be like, well, she's at home and she's taking care of the house and she's making sure his career is straight. But I feel like he kind of didn't get that grace. But then I also thought about it too, if he was a black man, what would the narrative be then? You know,
what about him being paid?
About him not working and being at home. Oh, okay, so
he does work.
He doesn't. Well, he has some cooking classes on Instagram, from what I've heard. That's on there. That he does that. But what he's doing for Candace, I mean, he's at the end of the day, he kind of isn't working. I mean, he's doing his classes, but I don't know how much he charges for his classes on Instagram. I don't know. So I don't know. That's why I was like, okay.
I thought why he wasn't going to be there is because he's working.
He did say that. He said he was going to be making some money. So I just assumed it was going to be on his Instagram class because that's the only job that I know of him having. Is he cooks on Instagram. But I don't know, you know, how he's getting. I'm assuming he's getting paid some kind of way. Maybe he's got them paying him Cash App or something. I don't know. Okay, so I have also posted the link in the comment section. If anybody wants to join us and come on and talk to us, you can. Just looking over in the chat area, and I did post the link there. So maybe somebody will come. I don't know. I don't know if our friend Yolanda is here. If Yolanda, our crew member, is here, you can come on and join us, girl. All right, so okay, so that next scene after that, it was, oh, I'm sorry, Johnny, did you finish saying what you wanted to say about Chris and Candace?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so Wendy and her family, they're spending some time in the backyard, and she discusses with Eddie, talking to their boys about kind of the climate that's going on right now with the police and black men. Okay, so I feel like it's a lot to unpack right there. What did y'all think about that scene?
I actually thought that was a good way to do it. It was kind of within not so much playing, but not so serious, not so scary. Because I do think that conversation can be scary for young kids because they really don't understand why they're different than anyone else. So I actually thought they did a good job bringing that up to their kids the way they did, or having the conversation with them and doing it together. And I liked his response when he said he might want to be like MLK and make changes. I thought that was cute because I don't really remember quite how old each kid is. He looks big, but I think he's about like Aiden's age. I think he's like 7, 8. Her oldest son.
Yeah, I'm not sure how old he is.
Yeah, so he sounded and acted like a 2nd, 3rd grader. So my guess is he's about that old. But I liked the way they did that.
What do you think, Reese?
I agree with Johnny. I liked it. I feel like, it's a conversation that I think probably all parents have to have in this day until change comes, because you need to teach your kids, like that's the reality. This, not to say like go out and be scared and to live in fear, because that's not the reality. But the reality is that if, things can happen. And I like the fact that, like, her husband, he's well spoken, and and so I feel like he's a good example to show them how to portray yourself as well in public, because even though it sucks that you can't just be yourself, just the likelihood of something happening, if you're trying, I know it still happens to people who are dressed nice, because then you kind of like, well, where you coming from? Did you steal that type stuff too? But I don't know. I guess if I was a guy, I'd rather still be the one that looks nice and was targeted versus the one that looked crazy and was targeted. I don't know. But
Okay,
I do
cool.
feel like it's a tough situation. So
Yeah. Yeah, very tough. All right, so we have a caller here, guys. So Kim has joined us. Kim, why don't you sound off? Tell us what you thought of last night's episode.
Well, last night's episode was crazy because I don't know y'all what part y'all don't got to yet, but
Okay, so right now we're talking about the part where Wendy and her husband are talking to their boys about the climate going on with black men and black people with the police these days.
oh yeah, that was kind of sad because they had to actually have that conversation with them like that.
You know what? Like, I appreciate it. I know I had to have a talk with my son. He was a little bit older than them when I had to have that talk with him. So I understand trying to figure out when it's like the right time when she was asking Eddie, like, trying to figure out, should they talk about it right now with them and stuff. The only thing, and this has been a problem throughout like the season, sometimes some things I almost feel like maybe you shouldn't do that with the kids and in front of the camera, because the kids can't truly, they may feel scared to say what they really want to say or ask you what they really want to ask you. I feel like that kind of conversation, you need to be able to have your kid be able to talk to you and ask you all of the questions that they want to, and not be afraid because there's a camera and a camera crew and probably white people on the camera crew. That was
Exactly.
my only thing that I thought about with it. But I totally understand it, and I certainly understood her as a mother, trying to figure out if that was the right time or how to do it. And I was glad that she was making that decision with her husband and discussing that with her husband.
Right.
Showing a good front among parents.
yeah, I didn't think about the camera crew and the races, and I don't know, because I guess I just assumed like the cameras are always around, so the kids just used to it, and then the fact that they're younger, they may be more open to just blurt out how they really feel versus maybe a teenager might have been more reserved. But I mean, thankfully, like the answer they gave, whether it was real or not, was a very positive one.
Yes,
And
I did
I
like
would
it.
hope that people could see things like that and see that not all black people are bad, because look at this kid who just wants, unity and peace between, he didn't say just black people to be looked at as good people. He said white people too, because white people also can be treated like nothing based off of where they're from or how much money they have and all that. So I think that his response was like amazing. It was awesome. So just for them to be able to put that out there to the public, like, was pretty cool. Now, was it something they talked about prior to or previously? I don't know. But I think his answer was pretty cool for the world to hear if
Yeah.
the world heard it.
Yeah. And then back to your point, Reese, with younger kids, they have no filter. So they don't really care who's around. They're going to say what they feel they want to say. I think when he asked the question, well, am I going to die? Because I thought that was heart-wrenching. And I think that's really sad. I had to have the conversation with my son at about 7 because my cousin was killed by cops, unarmed, riding a bicycle. And that's just not a way you would ever think your family would go. And my son was scared of cops for a while. And I had to let him know it's not all cops. I had to break it down to him and as basic as I could. And if we were around cops, I would make sure he'd speak, just something to show that not all cops are bad cops or are out to kill you. Mm-hmm. And that was a real struggle with us for a while. So I definitely would never have thought I'd have to have that conversation with him so young. But because I did, I can, of course we weren't in front of cameras, but it's just going back to the point that younger kids don't have filters. So they're always going to be as honest as possible. You see how kids say crazy things when they're little like that. So I think they were genuine and honest in how they said whatever questions they had at that time. And they could have edited it because it became too uncomfortable for the people recording, or they didn't want to show too much of it because they didn't want to start controversy. But it's a controversy that needs to change. And hopefully with more training and more people becoming aware, they'll change their ways eventually. Maybe not so much for my sons, but for their sons, that their sons can walk and not be scared or fearful of cops when they leave or walk around in a nice neighborhood or whatever the case may be, drive nice cars, all the nitpicky things that we get pulled over for.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So our next scene was Ashley and Karen, they meet up. Okay. So they meet up. They talk about the trip in Williamsburg. They talk about, it was so funny to me also when they arrived at the restaurant and Ashley's like, oh, the baby is hungry. And so Karen's like, okay, let's feed him. I think in Karen's mind, she had a ball to get the baby. When she sat down and whipped out the boob, she's like, oh, okay, we're going to do that right here. That was funny to me. But us, the viewers, we've seen Ashley do it enough. We all knew what was coming. That boob was about to pop out.
Yep.
So what did you guys think about them? Think about that scene there.
Well, I thought about the fact that why not? Why not pull it out and feed the baby?
Yeah.
And she was looking at the baby like he was an alien or something. Like, he's a real person. What you thought he was?
She did say that. She was like, he's a whole person or something, she said. But, yeah. Sonny, what did you think, Reese?
I guess my opinion on the breastfeeding thing might be slightly different. I guess I still feel like it's a boob, and I don't know. I don't feel like I want men looking at it like that. You know what I mean? That's for her husband and her kids. But I prefer for people to put the blanket over them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind people doing that in public when you kind of cover it a little bit or tight, but just to have the whole thing. And then I'm like, if I'm at your house and you do it, okay, cool. If you know what I'm saying, it's somewhere and it's not other people around and maybe it's just me and you're comfortable around me, but I'm like, I would have felt uncomfortable. Like, you just pull it out all the way out like that and then just feeding the baby with it all the way out. Again, I'm not a hater on breastfeeding. I just feel like maybe in certain places, put the blanket over. I don't know, because that to me was weird. Because I'm like Karen, like, oh, you're gonna feed the baby, cool. Let me hold him. Oh, you're doing it with your boob, okay.
Yeah.
Especially when she does pump. Like, why wouldn't you bring the pump milk when you go out? My thought.
I agree with you, Reese. Some stuff just is. I mean, I don't know. I'll never understand how that can be, but it could be because my boobs are required double hands and have to constantly watch my kid, because if I didn't, he might suffocate. But Yeah, just being able to whip it out and do that all in public. I always had a blanket and a shirt and a
Yeah.
I had all kinds of things to do that in public. I couldn't imagine.
And then
Yeah.
she was
Couldn't
sitting by the
imagine.
door. I don't know if you guys saw that, where she was like facing the door. But
Mhm.
I mean, I know I get it, breastfeeding is natural, so I'm not trying to shame anybody for that.
Yeah, that's what I
I
said.
just thought it was a little funny, like Karen's reaction. I'm like, wait, Karen, the rest of us have been seeing this since she popped that baby out, and now
Yeah.
it's your turn, Karen, to see it. Yeah. So they also kind of talked about Williamsburg, and Karen told Ashley she hated that Ashley couldn't have been there longer. Couldn't have stayed longer. I felt like Karen, stop that. She left in the perfect time. She probably shouldn't have showed up, bringing all the mess with her back. It's neither here nor there. Anybody have any thoughts about Karen telling Ashley she wished she could have been there more or had more time there?
If Ashley hadn't, like you said, brought the drama with her, because I mean, it was already awkward, and then after that conversation that her and Wendy had outside, it just went to a mess. So it's like, yeah, maybe the beginning half of it when you weren't doing most, yeah, but after you kind of all that stuff went down, I don't think she should stay longer because it would have just egged more stuff on. It was already too many people arguing. She was just another
Yeah,
layer of it, and she didn't have to be.
Right.
right. I think Candace would have got to her.
Oh yeah,
got her more.
yeah.
Yeah.
They might have got into a fight if she had been there longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely could have seen a possible physical altercation happening with her and Candace if she had stayed. Not to say I think Ashley would have jumped on her, but I know Candace has been very vocal with her verbal abuse upon Ashley. So I think it was best that she left, got her breast milk, as Candace said, and get the hell out of here, or get the F out of here. I think it was a good idea that she
Especially it was Candace's event, so
yeah.
Yeah, out of respect to that, she shouldn't have stayed.
Okay. And so then we go to Robin. We see her arrive at her life coach's office, and she talks about the scam, the friend that scammed them. And then she also talks about the fact that she has always been there for Juan, and right now she's going through something. And you could tell she basically wanted to say it, but she didn't say it. She wanted Juan to be there for her while she's going through it, and not say, that it's unattractive that she's in bed all day. Okay. Yeah. So she just wants him to be there for her the same way she was. So what did y'all think of Robin and her life coach?
I like that life coach.
Yeah, I think it's so odd. You think about what people go through, because Robin and Juan have definitely been through a lot. And it just feels really weird that she doesn't feel like she can tell him, hey, you can't tell I'm depressed. Like, you can't just support me. It feels weird that she needs somebody to help her tell him that. I guess I'm hoping with my mental health issues. So I'm quick to say, I missed a pill. I need my pills. I'm sad. Leave me alone. Like, I am very open with that, because I do believe it's important to know your triggers. And I just don't understand why she doesn't feel she can tell him that with all the stuff they talk about. I just think that's pretty crazy. Because maybe he wouldn't have said that had he known that you're actually having a mental issue. Maybe to him, it really is just you being lazy.
That I know y'all think I'm just being shady when I say it, but maybe they're not talking and have the relationship we think they have. Now, I'm just shocked she didn't tell Giselle. She could have told. Oh, she's not catching what I'm saying.
You back on that.
Y'all know I already have my questions once I seen that bed unlaid in on the other side. What's going on there? So, Kim, what did you think about Robin and her life coach?
I think it's good that she has somebody to talk to, but I really think she just should tell her husband that I think you're being selfish. Because he really don't care nothing about, know how men are. They really don't care about how we feel like we do them. They don't do us. Well, some of them put it like that. They don't. A lot of them don't do what they get. How we do it. We treat them all kind when they going through stuff, and when they going through stuff, and when we going through stuff, they don't care.
Mm.
Right, that is a good way to put it, because a lot of times we do pour into our men, and we hope that they're going to pour back into us in that same way when we need them.
Right.
Sometimes they're not there. I don't know whether it's with one, whether it's intentional or unintentional, because I think sometimes it's unintentional on their part. They're just so used to us, like I said, pouring into them. It's almost like they think that's just naturally what we're supposed to do for them, and they don't realize that we are really trying to be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or they don't realize we're exhausted from being there for you.
Oh, exactly.
Like, good God, if you don't recognize how much I've been there for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you want to sit here and call me lazy or unattractive. Like, hold up. But at that point, that's when those are triggers, I guess, for me. Because that's when an iron might get thrown at your head.
Uh-oh.
Like, don't, all the stuff.
So one of our So one of our subscribers, Demel, he comes on and he talks to us all the time. So Demel says, not all men. You know what? We don't know what sex Demel is, but I'm starting to think Demel is a man. I think Demel is a man. Yeah.
Yeah, Demel sounds like a male name. And I don't think we said all men.
Yes.
Just a lot of men, I don't think really are in touch with how they say things and how they do things. And it's not until they get that iron knocked upside their head that they appreciate, like, hold up, you're right. I'm sorry. Let me let you think about it while you're unconscious on this floor.
Right. Or we got to hold back on the cookie. Or we got to hold back on the cookie to,
hold back on the cookie, hold back on the head. That's my punishment. No head. Because I can't believe you just said that. Since I'm so lazy, you're absolutely right. I don't do that anymore.
You're too lazy to care for him,
huh? Too lazy.
Look, he'll get his act together real quick.
Yeah.
He'll be like, I would have took that hit on the head, but not that.
Oh.
Please hit me with the cast iron, please.
Please.
But you know what? I really like that life coach. Like, I kind of was like, how much time did she get? Because I feel like she didn't even use it all, and I wanted to go through and finish. Because I'm like, man, you got some time left. Let me talk to your life coach.
Yeah, she seems like she's a good life coach. So
yeah. Because I mean,
is she the same life coach that was on another Real Housewives show? Was it with Atlanta with Candy and them? Was that the same one? Because I know she's up there, but is she Tella? Because she looked familiar when I saw her.
You know what? I don't know. I didn't recognize
She looked familiar, like she's been on the shows before or something.
Oh, Lord. So Demel says, yes, I am a man and I don't iron my clothes, so I don't need an iron. You know what we're talking about. Just
trust me, Demel, there are other things that we can throw besides an iron. I can throw plates. I can throw pans. I can actually boil water and throw hot water.
I've been working on my arms, so I think I could throw a cast iron.
I could, man. There's a lot of stuff we could throw.
She said pot of grits.
Oh, Kim over there throwing grits.
You don't want to salt, Kim.
I got you, girl. Yes.
You got to use water. It burns enough, but they can't prove anything because it's just redness. You don't want 3rd and 4th degree burns. You want enough to let them think about your action. Mind you, I am truly crazy.
Oh, Lord. Let us switch before Johnny starts getting ideas over there.
I am that chick
Oh,
that
Jamel talking
watches
about
Snap
he
and
uses
Forensic
plastic plates.
Files.
He uses plastic plates. Well,
I
guess
use
what, Jamel? There's
plastic
still
plates.
other items in the house that can be used.
Yes,
No,
there
you
are
really
phones,
a
A
fresh
bag of
pair of
oranges.
plastic plates. Wow.
laptops.
A bag of
Look,
oranges.
No, but look, you can use them plastic plates as soon as you get them fresh, like a stack of them, and just
Yeah,
smack them. Like, I
smack
mean,
'em.
we ain't
yeah.
talking. You ain't gotta get one plate.
You sure can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot that can go on, and those paper plates are not going to save you, Jamel. If she is, if she wants to get you, she's gonna get you. And those
Oh,
paper
I'm gonna
plates,
get you.
plastic plates, are not gonna stop her.
Trust
No.
and believe, Demel.
Yes, you remember that song when a woman's fed up? She's gonna find a way.
That's
Okay.
right.
Look, look. I know this the wrong show, but you know, on that Life After Lockup, you know, if you've seen the type of stuff they made in jail with them other items, you think somebody can't be creative in their house when they got access to some of everything?
So Jamel says, I don't eat grits, so if I cook, I won't go into the kitchen. If I don't cook, maybe. You know what? She can get you in the bedroom. Because I think the lady that burnt, what was it, Marvin Gaye? Didn't she
Mm-hmm.
throw him on him when he was in the bed? I
She
think.
sure did.
See? So you're not safe in your shower. You're not safe in your
You're not
bed.
safe.
Look, you're not safe in your closet. You know, and you really make her mad. You are not safe in your car. You can try to drive off all you want to. She's gonna jump in there. She's gonna get you.
Oh, I know my way around a car. I know how to cut brake lines.
Lord.
Things stay nowhere.
I know how to take off brake pads.
You hear that, Jamel? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to speed off because she's got your brake pads in her hand.
Look, you must not realize they got a whole show dedicated to women that snap.
All because a man behaving like you, Jamel. Now you gotta calm down, somebody.
You
Okay?
So we
know,
ain't crazy till you push us.
we sure
Right,
are.
We're
right.
sweetest
Ain't that
things
the
ever
truth?
I promise.
until.
Yes. Because even when we watch Snap, somebody on there said she was a nice person. Uber is not gonna save you. You don't understand. She can hack into your Uber, figure out where you're at, where you got dropped off, what time you got dropped off, and be there waiting for you. Actually, she can find out where you're headed to on that app if she got access, and then she can be waiting there for you. As soon as your Uber pull up, she gets you. Hmm.
Yeah, now quit trolling us.
You know, always gotta come home. Trust and believe.
Yeah, eventually he's
Always gotta
gonna
come home.
Yep. Just all right, so our last scene was Mia had a goddess party, all right? Which I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
I wasn't the biggest fan of their headpieces.
I thought that was cute.
It
I
was
I
do
like
too.
their
cute, but they were too
headpieces.
big for all the ladies.
I wish they had stuck with a color because when Ashley came with that wild old
Oh
grainy
yeah,
flower dress, I was like, what the
yeah.
hell happened? What happened to the white? I
Yeah,
liked
it went downhill from there.
Wendy's,
Yeah.
that blue, that pale blue looked so pretty on her.
It
I
did.
loved the whites and the gold and the pale blue. And then here comes Ashley with that
Ashley.
flower get up, and then Giselle came with whatever that was. And I liked Robin's dress too. I felt like I would have wanted it lighter, but I liked her dress too. I liked the solids. I was like,
But you
what
know what? For
happened?
me, I felt like Robin's dress looked like a bridesmaid's dress more than like a Grecian dress. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it did
Yeah.
look bridesmaidsy, but I still liked it better than Giselle's and Ashley's.
Okay, so something I thought about when I saw Ashley. Alrighty. So, Kim, I don't know if you're a mom or whatever, but you may be able to chime in on this one. After I had a baby, I was not out like this. That girl be somewhere everywhere with her baby.
Exactly.
I remember being on the phone because I wasn't close to my family when I had my son. And being on the phone, and I think it was my sister-in-law, I was moving a blender. And she was like, "What are you doing? You're over there moving stuff around. You know you can't do that. You're going to have a setback."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, she's doing so much and has that baby stomach everywhere. Every time we turn around.
That is, well, Nene, you only have one child. Kim, I don't know how many children you have, but I have 3. And after one child, that second child is just gone with the wind. You're not as protective over that. You know, understand? Because you've been through so much protecting your first one, and you realize they don't break. That when the second one comes along, you're like, oh yeah, we doing this. Oh yeah, we going over here. We doing that. We doing that. And I think that's what she's doing. She's like, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna leave my kid at home, and I don't. Which is weird because she has the nanny.
Yeah.
But I guess the nanny's only paid for the one child, not 2, which is still weird, but it is what it is. But yeah, she's just like, I'm taking him everywhere. But those are the kind of questions you should ask if it's okay, because maybe they would have given you a different space or somewhere different for you to walk than that crazy.
Yeah. Well, it was obvious that they didn't know that Dylan was coming. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't know. I think that's not being considerate. I do think you should ask those questions. Yeah. But outside of that, yeah, girl, once you got that second one, girl, they remember how you used to put your stuff in baggies to make sure they were clean and all this stuff. Second one come around, girl, you just pick it up, wipe it on off, and give it to him.
You don't even care. What do you think, Kim?
It's the second. The second child syndrome.
The second child syndrome. Okay.
Second child syndrome.
Did you hear Giselle, whatever her name is? Did you hear her say these rickety steps? She didn't want to walk up neither.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
yeah.
Yeah, those steps look kind of scary. I was like, I'll tell you. They basically almost all over 40. Lord have mercy. One of them fall down that damn thing.
That's
they
what
all
I'm saying. You hit that sideways foot and don't catch yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't feel the same when you fall, over 35. You just don't.
Girl, be in pain.
I mean, it was beautiful, but I would have preferred regular steps if I'm out to do steps. Or I'd have took some heels off or something. Like, y'all ain't gonna have me out there looking crazy.
Country barefoot. I am not going to die on nobody's stairs.
I feel you.
Rolling on them things? Oh, heck no.
Yeah. So, Kim, what did you think about Ashley bringing the baby out so much?
You remember how old people used to say that you still stinking? And you should go around people open like that?
Yeah, I know old people used to say a lot. I remember their favorite one was "You're gonna have a setback," on telling you, I'm trying to think of some of the other stuff they used to say. But yeah, they'd be like, "You're gonna get sick. Your pores are still open." They used to say all kinds of
cold air.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. When I had my son, I stayed in the house.
I feel you. Yeah. And so we have Candace's hair. I wanted to talk about that. What did y'all think of her hair? I thought it was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, and it was different. What did y'all think of her wig?
I actually thought it was cute.
It's definitely a different look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and everybody can't pull out the short wig, so that was actually really
very
cool.
true.
Yeah.
Very true. Everybody can't pull it out, but she did, and I felt like she looked great in it.
Like she pulls out the turban, she pulls out the short hair.
Yeah.
Good job. I don't know if somebody helping her if she doing it, but nice.
Yeah, I feel like she has the face structure and the head shape that she could pull it off very well. Absolutely. And then I felt like Mia. I don't understand why Mia decided to tell everybody, let's all name something we like about each other, and had to say something nice about everybody there. I was like, what is wrong with her? She is trying to start a fight here. I know it, So what did y'all think about that when she asked everybody to say something nice?
Yeah, I don't know what that purpose was. I don't know. Sorry, Reese.
Oh no, you good. Were you finished? I don't want to
Yeah, I'm good.
I think as silly and dumb as it probably was, and as dangerous as that could have gotten, I actually, although I don't like to be put on the spot like that, because if I don't, especially if it's somebody I don't like there, but it turned out to actually end up being a good thing, kind of, even if it was people being fake or not. But I mean, it was crazy because you don't have a warning that this is the type of thing that's going to happen. Like, I kind of don't like to walk into events like that and not know that that's the type of thing we're going to do. Because if I'm thinking we just come in having lunch, whatever, that would throw you off.
Right.
But
Very much.
but it was a good thing because it actually got people to talk. And do I think it was really her place to like try to force everybody to talk? No, but somebody had to do it.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. It did work. They were all nice people. Even though in their confessionals they were still throwing their little jabs. But they all managed to say something nice. Um, I'm trying to remember what it was that Ashley said about Candace. Oh,
Her
about
bride.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that was. But yeah, they all managed to say something nice, and Giselle and Karen ended up apologizing to each other. Now it took some wrangling, between themselves and others at the table and stuff, but they got there, and each one of them did end up apologizing. Um, and then Candace brought up a point. She said, Candace had asked Giselle basically, do you feel like, the rumors is what caused the end of you and Jamal? And Giselle says no, because she already knew and it was not a surprise. What did y'all think of that statement?
I don't believe that, because if you really watch the reunion, she was totally caught off guard by all the stuff Monique was saying. I
I
think
agree
she's
with you,
saying
Johnny.
that
I
to
don't think
save
she knew.
face. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she did not know. I think afterwards was just her realization that he was not going to change. And I think that just kind of sucks to have that in public like that.
Yeah.
Like, I never want my youth experience with my relationships in the past to be on TV. I just wouldn't want that kind of judgment or thoughts about your feelings with my relationship. So
Right.
I think that was just her point of really realizing, oh my gosh, this dude is not going to change. Here I am sitting up here, beautiful, thinking everything was good, and my world has just been rocked again. So I don't think she knew last year. I'm sorry. I heard what she said, but I don't believe that she knew.
Could
Yeah.
it?
Oh, go ahead, Bruce.
Well, I mean, I didn't see the reunion, but could it be that she knew? I don't think he told her, because that don't even make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
that doesn't make sense.
that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
But could it be that she had found out, and her shock was that they all knew, and she didn't know they knew, and then that embarrassed because
Yeah.
what she found out she was going to keep to herself, but it got broadcast.
I mean, that's a good point too. Um, maybe she knew, but she just didn't realize that the rumor was out there.
Yeah, that everybody knew.
Yeah, and that those women were talking. Yeah.
Yeah, because I just remember when she was hearing everything, how she looked like a deer in headlights.
That could be shocked that they knew. Like,
yeah,
wait,
she
what?
was totally,
and then what do I say right now on national TV? Y'all bringing this here?
She didn't give the impression that she knew anything, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just remembering how she looked, I felt so bad for her watching that go down the way it did. I truly felt bad because I couldn't imagine secrets like that about my personal life being spilled in front of everybody like that. And I just felt really bad for her. So I don't know that she really knew or if she was being quiet about it.
Well, this was kind of my thought process on it when it was exposed to her. Because, I've let you guys know the reasons why I enjoy watching the Housewives. Like, I like seeing them. Season 1 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. That is what has kept me watching these shows, because I want to see That again, where they shopping, they're taking trips, they're having fun. You see them interacting with their kids. You know, they still had their little shady moments and stuff, but it was truly watching wealthy housewives, you know. And so my thing is, I want to feel like I'm watching something real, like I'm watching real people. And I get so aggravated when I feel like they're not being real. If you don't want to really show your life, then hide your man, but don't come on and be telling us lies. And then that's my big thing. Like, I just want to feel like I'm truthfully watching your life. And if you don't want to show your real life, why go on these shows? And I kind of felt that way. I didn't end up feeling bad for her because I have been hearing the rumors that, you know, all kinds of stuff, that they really weren't in a relationship and all this other stuff. So for me, I'm like, well, you told the lie, now you're being busted. You know, so in that moment, I couldn't feel bad for her. Now, if it had been a woman I knew or a woman on the street, I would have felt bad. But I kind of felt like you tried to play with us. We're investing our time into watching you and watching what we believe is your life, and you're playing with us. So I didn't, as bad as it may sound, I didn't feel bad for her in that moment because I kind of felt a little played, you know? But yeah, so Kim, what did you think of this scene?
Well, I really didn't. I mean, it is what it is because
Yeah.
they know they hiding stuff. They're not gonna tell us the truth, and she gonna feel bad. But hey, the lady gotta. I mean, she probably knew it though that he was doing his own thing because one thing about women, we do kind of get hints and we kind of know when something different going on.
Yeah.
So she had to know something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot. A lot to come out. And so that was last night's
But
episode.
no, you missed some other parts that I feel
Uh-oh.
like why we just gonna go past
You
the fact that so what I didn't like
Okay. All right, Racy, what you did
so
like, girl?
well no okay so we're gonna talk about feeling like tricked. So I didn't realize that Giselle apologized that many times. I'm like, so what in the world was the problem? Like the girl has apologized numerous times. Now, if you don't accept the apology, that's not her fault. Because even when you look at when they were, when she was finally being like, you know what, and I apologize or whatever, and then Karen was like, okay, that's good, and she's like, no, I'm putting it out here, you know. So if you never let the girl finish her apology, then of course you're gonna feel like you never got anything out of it. And then too, when she did apologize, just like, you know what I'm saying, Karen did, it's still just like, I don't know, like she still wasn't trying to hear it in a way.
Yeah, well,
And then
she couldn't carry on her story of being the victim if she accepts Karen's apology and hears Karen's apology. For me, now this is just me. I have seen her over the years. Yes, she has apologized to Karen, but it's like, how many times do you got to keep on apologizing to your friend? You should have an apology should come with changed behavior. But if you're constantly having to apologize to me every year, what does these apologies mean if you're not going to change?
so that apology wasn't about that situation, those apologies.
Yes,
No, it was. Well, you talking about when they were showing all those different clips? That wasn't about that particular incident, but it was different things that have happened over the years.
No, it was about that. She is
No, it was
apologizing.
different. It was different things because you saw like one of the apologies. They were standing in front of Karen's house, and she came over to apologize to Karen. I want to say, was that the Uncle Ben's, or that was either when she showed. It might have been when she showed up at the party wearing that shirt where she's basically talking trash about them, like pay taxes and Uncle Ben's. It was all kinds of stuff written on there. It's like over the years she's apologized a lot to her, but it's just kind of like, when are you going to change your ways and stop having to apologize?
But then they don't show Karen apologizing, and apparently she's not nice to her all the time either. So I guess that goes both ways. They both, like, it's kind of like what Ashley said, like, or who was it that said it? Like, they're just talking, but nobody's listening. Mia, maybe? Yeah, Mia said it. everybody's just talking about what they're angry about, but nobody's listening, and everybody just takes it for what they feel it is and not listening. Because even to me, when she was talking to Wendy, like I still feel like Wendy was on the defense, and it's like, why are you being so defensive? Because just like you saying, come to me, you could talk to her as well. And I got it if you're the one that's upset, you don't want to be the one to go talk. But when she's saying she'll talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here when you're ready to talk, you still don't want to talk though. So it's like, to me, it's a bunch of immature junk going on for a bunch of grown people, especially when everybody's sober. Like, I got when they were drinking and stuff was crazy, but everybody's sober and they're still like, can't listen. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Interesting. What are your thoughts, Kim?
I want now that part is okay, but I want to find out what did y'all ever talk about when they was body shaming the one that was just had the
Yeah.
baby?
Yeah. Okay. So what are your thoughts on that?
How you gonna body shame her? She still look better than her, and she just had a baby.
You know, I spoke on that last week. I felt like she definitely was body shaming. I didn't agree with it. It was funny, and I did laugh. Or maybe I shouldn't say it's funny if I'm saying that she was body shaming her. I did laugh at it, and I repeated it and laughed at it. Even though I guess it really isn't funny because she was body shaming her. At the end of the day, she was doing that, and I did feel a little bad for Ashley because I'm like, she did just have a baby less than 2 months ago. Let her get her snap back before we start attacking her body. Yeah. So did you have some thoughts about that? About the body shaming part?
That's the only thing I wanted to look. I just wanted to put that out there. How you gonna body shame people? But you know that they do too much, and then you gonna apologize on some other point. If you gonna apologize, stop doing it.
Yeah,
I
now
mean,
her apology, yeah, she's like, I apologize but she was trying to say that she wasn't body shaming her, but you were. In essence, that's what you were doing.
they apologize too much, and they keep doing the same thing. So I look at it as you really don't. You really
You know
not
what,
Body
talk.
shame
Jamel?
her hair.
I'm sorry, Jamel, aka the troll, is talking about Ashley body shamed old girl hair. That's not that is not the
But,
same thing. Saying
but
somebody has dry hair is not the same as saying they have a
no,
wide cap.
but she might be, if Candace has natural hair, that is kind of a because that makes, like, black women don't like to wear their natural hair sometimes because of the negativity that you get. Yes, natural hair can be dry. It's not your fault that your hair absorbs all the moisture and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're walking around with it just super like Jerry curl juicy. But I'm saying, like, so yes, it wasn't a body shame, but it was a dig at her black hair. And I do think Ashley was wrong for that, because if Ashley happened to look in the mirror, her hair was pretty dry actually.
But
She got
this
that
is my
mixed hair
thing.
that nobody even want because it's dry.
But this is my thing, okay? So I need some more context on what Ashley was talking about. Has Ashley seen Candace's natural hair? Because we haven't seen it that I
She
know.
had to have seen it before for her to say it.
I thought she was talking about her wigs, trying to say her wigs were dry. But that's why I said I just need some more context. Like, what is dry on Candace? Is it her real hair, or is it her wig or her weave?
So I took it as her real hair because she's
Okay, so
black. So I mean, people like to diss natural black hair, especially when you don't have it.
that is very true. So it could be if she's talking about her because, and I can see your point. If she's talking about her because she's talking about her natural hair, oh no, 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 Ashley, y'all are even now because you had no business saying that if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And so Jamila says, so your hair is not part of your body.
I like Demel.
You know what, Jamil? My hair is a part of my body, but my hair can't grow 5 pounds and make my face look chunky.
Yeah, but there has been so many
And
issues with black
Lucy is
hair.
defending. You know what?
Right.
You must know this DeMille. Are you over? Reese is
No,
DeMille.
because
I think
I think
Reese
it's
is
the truth.
DeMille.
Like, I do think it's the truth because black people are considered unprofessional and all that. I'm saying this from the standpoint of being in the military, and
But
they
I
had to
get
take
it.
the wording out and said unkempt hair because that was like actually pretty racist. And it's like it's crazy that the military was even able to get away with saying that. But it's because that's what they considered it, unkempt and nappy, and like you can't pull
So
your
they
hair
said
back
your
smooth.
body. They were saying your body is unkempt and your body is nappy,
No,
or
your
your hair.
hair. Your hair.
But he's
Well,
saying, is your hair not part of your body? And I'm like,
He just saying like she body shaming her because of her hair, and then she body shaming her because she got a pregnant belly still. But it ain't even that bad, really. Of a pregnant belly, it really
so
ain't.
you feel like she was body shaming her when she was talking about her hair?
Well,
Or
as
was
a
she
black
being
woman, I didn't.
inappropriate?
As a
I
black
didn't feel
woman,
like,
now
yeah,
if
as a
she had
black
the
woman,
old, but the thing is, I haven't seen her have dried out wigs. So the only thing I can think of is she's saying her natural
that
hair.
last ponytail she had was so dried out. I thought it was
But I
gonna
think
break. It
that
was so fresh.
ponytail was that type of like yucky whatever hair. But again, that ponytail looks like natural hair.
Okay, so I
So
mean,
natural
I
hair
feel like
and their
if
eyes ain't pretty.
yeah, if Ashley was talking about her natural hair, yeah, I feel like she's wrong. She's not body shaming her, but I felt like she was wrong for doing that because that is a form of colorism. Like she's light skinned, she has some mixed hair, so she feels like
Yeah,
her
but
hair
it
is
ain't even
better
that
than.
good mixed hair. So
But
Ashley
she
didn't miss me with the hair comments. Like your hair is
right, but
dried
she
out as
probably feels
who
like her
knows
hair
what
is
too.
better because it's half weight or whatever. So I could see it more as a colorist statement than body shaming her. I don't know.
Colors are not like it's still a thing that makes black women sometimes ashamed and why we wear so many wigs and straighten our hair and
Yeah, I
relax
mean,
our hair.
I feel it all the time on my job. Like I can't wear my hair the way that I would truly like to, but I don't feel like I'm being body shamed for it.
You ain't body shamed, but you're considered more unprofessional than if you wear your hair with a wig or slicked back and you know what I'm saying? And I've seen some white people have their hair all like it's like, come on now, you ain't gonna do nothing with it, and nobody says it's unprofessional. But I mean, I'm going on the whole day because he bringing up the hair thing, and that's like a sensitive subject because I know like a lot of military women and all that stuff, and then when people wear dreads and stuff, and they're like, oh, that's so unprofessional. But what do you want for somebody to do with this dry hair? Like we can't help it that this is what our hair does, and it's not ugly. It's just what it is naturally. But I did take her comment with the dry hair as a jab, but I also was looking at her hair and was like, yeah, but baby, you got more black in your hair than you got white. So
Okay, Johnny. So you want to weigh in here?
No, I think y'all have covered it.
But what about this? I'm starting to think Reese is DeMille. What do you think? You think Reese got a tablet over there and she's DeMille?
No.
I just think he made a valid point. It might not be body shaming, but hey, you want to sit here and try to, you know what I'm saying? She jabbed her body, so you jabbed her hair, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when you get your body snapped back, your hair can't never change. To me, it's like the black thing. Like that's why I guess these type of subjects I get very passionate about that stuff because I don't think it's right.
Okay. All right, Kim, do you want to weigh in on anything? And then I also got to
I
ask you,
think,
do you think Reese is DeMille? You think she got a tablet or something over there and she's DeMille?
She always be
nah.
assuming like the craziest stuff.
I mean, it would make. I mean, you and Demilla over here vibing. I'm just trying to
So
figure out.
are you I'm having a brain.
Yolanda?
Yeah, are you Yolanda?
Yeah, because Yolanda does
No,
agree with her a lot.
Yeah,
no,
Yolanda never goes against you.
that's not
She
true.
always joking on me.
She
Then she
is.
No,
She
that's
throws
does
not
Johnny
pick
in there
on
true.
Reese
sometimes.
all the
Are you
time.
Yolanda? Maybe you are Yolanda.
That
No.
is a big sister thing.
Also, that we both got these alter egos that's in the
No,
comments.
no. I have my hands right here.
Look, I ain't got the coordination to be trying to think of something to say and then to be like I got heated by that comment. I'm like, you're right. You're right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I wish he hadn't brought that up because that's just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get nobody kicked off of YouTube for this. I ain't saying nothing wrong. I just said, yeah.
And she's still mad.
I'm still
Look at
mad.
her.
I'm still mad. Because if I want to go do a little wash and go or something, people are like, oh, I like your long hair better. I'm like, that's wigs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many times I get that. I get from the black people, I get, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, your hair. But then the other people see the shrinkage and stuff, and they like, oh. I'm like, okay. Because you don't get it, but they body shame my hair all the time.
Okay, so Kim, do you want to weigh in on this?
I think we got it settled because we should go beat somebody up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's ready. Look at a little Scrappy over there.
Yep.
We can't talk about the hair.
Mm-mm.
Talk about that natural hair.
That's off limits.
Hey.
Yep, off limits.
Oh, and then I almost forgot. So Candace lets everybody know that she's going to be recording her music video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was so. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That music video irritated me so bad. I don't know which irritated me worse, the song or the video. But she announces that she's going to be recording her music video and that everybody is invited except Ashley. So, how much longer do you guys think Candace is going to keep on not inviting Ashley and excluding her?
I think as long as it's her event, she don't have to invite Ashley.
But I'm saying, do we think she's going to keep on doing this all into next season? And, you know, how long is she just going to keep doing this?
I think until she feels okay with her. She's not okay with her. And I can appreciate
I don't think
Ashley.
she's ever going to be okay with her.
I can appreciate Ashley keeping her distance and not allowing her in her space. Like, I still come to these events because I want to be here. But when it comes to my stuff, you're not welcome. And I can appreciate that.
Okay. Anybody else want to weigh in on that one? No? Nothing, Reese? Okay. Kim, you got anything for that?
No, because it's her event. So she can have who she wants to be around.
All right.
Yeah, real talk. Ashley can have events and not invite her.
Correct.
Ashley don't need to be outside no way.
No, she really needs to have her
get
butt
in
in
there
the
before
house.
she catch a cold out there with that baby.
Yeah.
That baby gonna get colic.
What she said? The baby's going to have colic?
Uh-huh.
She gonna get sick whipping them boobies out every 2 seconds.
Gonna get a booby
That's some
cold.
old women's tales, old folks' tales.
She gonna get a booby cold.
Mm-hmm. Cold to them boobies. So if you had anything out in the wind below, people tell me you get cold out there, you gotta cover that up. So, but yeah.
All right. And was there another part that you wanted to talk about, Reese? You said I skipped some good parts.
Well, I thought like when she was showing like all those apologies and then all that, I'm like, so what's the big deal? Like if she's apologizing time after time, but if they're about different things, then I don't know. I guess that it made my point invalid. However, I still think I'm glad and I hope they really meant that they're trying to get past this, because to me it just seems like they're holding on to stuff they shouldn't even still be holding on to. And then I'm glad that Wendy can finally get out her emotions about it, because I mean at the end of the day, if your man ain't doing nothing, you made your point at Williamsburg, and I feel like now you got an apology. Now it's time to move forward, because some of this beef, like I don't know, I don't know 100% understand Ashley and Candace, so I don't know how they get past theirs, but yeah, I feel like the other stuff is just petty.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I don't know when Wendy is going to get over it, because I don't see her just accepting an apology and moving forward so easily. So I don't know how that one is going to turn out. Ashley and Candace, they need to just kind of get over that. I don't even see why you're really holding your grudges like this, or why Candace is holding on to the grudge so much. And then I feel like she's acting like a 5-year-old girl. Well, I'm not inviting her to my birthday party. You don't get to come. You don't get to come. I mean, you're an adult. Like, y'all are all adults. Why not invite her? What's the big deal? But I mean, it's her prerogative. She can invite who she wants to. It looks a little juvenile to me. I don't know. But
I think all them grudge holders look juvenile because at this point in life, it's like, okay, either you accept the apologies or don't come to the events, because if y'all gonna just sit up angry all day every time you come, it's just like, I can only talk to you, and then you can only talk to you, and then I can only talk to, and then I'm gonna be looking like, why you talking to her? Because you're my friend.
But they are.
That's
exactly what they're doing, Tracy. And that's why I'm just like over it. Like, I don't get why y'all won't just stop. Why are you acting like preschool children? Mm-hmm. Because as you said, all of them are, but right now I'm talking about Ashley and Candace.
I know, but you say you don't think Wendy, but I think it's immature for her to hold that grudge too. I mean, they apologize. You ain't got to be besties.
Different because they did come after Wendy's husband.
She went after old girl too.
I can understand, because if you come after my man, you don't get to dictate when I accept your apology and when I don't get to be mad anymore. If you come after my man, but that's me.
But I mean, literally holding anger like that, I've done it, and it makes it so uncomfortable for groups. And then it's like, then it gets to the point where nobody wants to invite you, or nobody can invite them, or it's like, well, we gotta choose who's the funner person, who do we want there, because these two gonna act up every time. And it's like, why even live like that? Like, to me, I'd rather accept the apology and move on. We ain't gotta be best friends. We ain't got to, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be all that. But I can sit in a room with you and not mean mug you all day. Or I want to be able to sit in a room and not feel uncomfortable. You ain't got to be my friend. But I do think
I do agree. Like, you don't have to be my friend, because I have sat in rooms with people that I couldn't stand, but I sat in that room with them for whatever reasons, whether I'm at a wedding, a birthday party, or whatever, and I sat in that room, and I have to admit that I know the person who hosted it most likely knew I didn't care for that person, but they didn't exclude me because of whatever, you know.
Well, the person that hosted it was your friend, and that would make sense that they don't exclude you. And if they're their friend too, then they wouldn't exclude them. But the host can always exclude somebody they don't like. But I said the same thing can go for old girls. If she feels like, okay, you keep doing these things and excluding me, she can always have a party too. I mean, the thing is, if I'm paying for it,
then that's even more juvenile. So I'm gonna throw a whole party because I didn't get invited to something.
No, I'm just saying, if you paying for it, you don't have to have somebody there that you don't like. If not the show is paying for it and y'all doing that, then that's different. But if you paying for it out your pocket, I can understand not inviting the ones you don't like. But I don't know. I just think they all like need to just, I don't know. But I guess if they grow up, then the show will be boring. So hey, I guess keep being catty and all that.
They have to have the arguments out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of it, like, again, what we always talk about is time frame. We don't really know how far removed this is from Ashley, quote unquote, betraying Candace. So we don't know how far along that is. And I'm sorry, if somebody I felt betrayed me, trust and believe I'm not inviting you to my party in 6 months. Hell, maybe not even a year. But if I have to see you, I will be, I don't even think I'll be cordial. I'll speak if I have to. I'll give you a nod. But I can hold petty just as much as the rest of them. So that's why I don't feel bad for when she doesn't invite Ashley to things, because she just feels like that was totally, she did her dirty. And she's not ready to forgive her yet. And as far as Wendy, again, if it's not true and they were just asking a question, I don't think that's coming for you.
For me, and this is just for me, it's not about whether I feel like it's true or not. It's the fact that you came from my man. So I don't care even if you made it up yourself. The fact that you came from my man, and instead of y'all doing this, pulling me aside privately, y'all chose to do it on camera. So not only did you do this, but you also did it in front of these cameras, so it'll be broadcast out. And then now, whatever millions of people see this, now they're going to be judging my man. Like, I'm shocked that Wendy was sitting at that table with him, because I probably wouldn't even shown up at that table.
And that's the thing, is she had that right not to, if she feels
Yeah, she
so.
does have that right not to. Absolutely, especially with what they did. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Anybody know me know I don't play about my man. I don't play about my man. I don't play about my child. If you know me, keep both of their names out your mouth. And if you want to come to me one-on-one and tell me something going on, now that's different. But if any of y'all, either one of you two, were to bring me something about my son or my child, and y'all do it in front of the camera, that's it. That's it. Because I just feel like there's just a certain level of respect that you should have for me, where you wouldn't do that to me. Because
But you also talking about
I
people that
definitely would
ain't.
never do it to y'all. I would never do it.
Yeah,
Listen, if
but
I heard your man was cheating on you, I would never tell you that on the camera. I would never
ain't
do
this
it.
what they do? Like,
It
didn't we
is
just
what
say the
they
whole
do.
reunion was about that, and
And it
then
was
like other
already
things?
out.
But
So
they
all the
weren't
millions
friends.
of
But
people.
this is the thing. They weren't friends. Monique and Giselle was not friends. So I understand why Monique did that. And then Monique did it because Giselle had put out a rumor that Monique had been sleeping around on her husband and that her baby was really her trainer's baby. So I get why
Giselle
Monique
didn't
did
put
that.
that rumor out there. That was
She
the other
said
chick.
it. She said it on the thing. She said, "Yeah, word on the street is that Monique's baby is by her trainer." She said it in the confessional, so she put it out. I don't
But
understand
that's
why
word
they
on
did,
the street. The
but
other
she
lady
said
is the
it
one
in
who
the
put it out
confessional.
there.
She said it in the confessional.
She was
So
confirming
even
the
even
rumor
if
that
it is
everyone
a
has been
rumor,
talking about.
so Johnny, even if I know something is a rumor and I sit on TV in a confessional and I say it, that's okay because it's already out there about your man. I can say whatever I want to. Like right now, I'm on YouTube, so I can say what I've heard about your man right here in front of everybody. No, that's not okay. And you can't tell me you'd be okay with me doing that.
No, but me and you are not people that we associate with. I don't associate with you. You are somebody who knows the inner workings of my life.
But
So
then
no,
Giselle is
that's
there
totally
talking about she
different.
did it out of love. You didn't do that out of love because you don't do nobody that you love like that.
Who did what out of love?
Sitting
You're
up there
talking about
bringing this.
Monique?
No, I'm talking about with Wendy. She keeps saying she did that out of love. No, all of us talking about it was out of love. That wasn't out of love. That was out of messiness. Because if you love somebody, you don't do them like that.
No, I can agree with that. It was out of
I mean, but do
concern.
we really think she loved that girl like that?
No, she don't love her like that.
No,
You
she
see,
don't love
she
her
didn't
at
do that.
all.
She didn't do that to Robin. I think it would be different if it were Robin and Giselle. If Robin, because we could tell with Robin and Giselle, that's a real friendship. All those other chicks, that's not a real friendship. They're associates. So as an associate, I treat you different than I do my friend. If I read something, I guess if I'm on TV and I read something, hey, I read this in the blog. Is that true? I don't think it's true, but is it? You take it how you want to take it, but you shouldn't be mad at me. You should be mad at the blog. The blog's the one that got it out there.
And that's what I had said about Giselle. Because the rumors and stuff before Monique even said it was already out there. But she is taking it out on Karen.
She's not
But it's
taking
like
it out on
everybody do
Karen.
that.
No, she's not taking that out on Karen. She's taking what Karen brought onto the show out on Karen. All that other stuff that Monique had and Karen co-signing with Monique, that was totally different than what Wendy and Giselle did. What Giselle did to Wendy was totally different than what Karen did. Karen was co-signing. Karen was like, oh, this is what your daddy said. Oh, this is what da-da-da-da. This is what I know. This is what this. Are you going to do this? Are you going to confirm this? Blah, 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 blah. All she did was say, hey, I've heard these rumors. Is this why you are dressing and acting the way you're acting because you feel your man's out there cheating? They're two totally different things. I don't see the similarities.
I know to keep my mouth shut about certain stuff with you because you would tell it. I mean,
No, she just said you and y'all's relationship wouldn't be the same as their relationship because their relationships aren't real friends. So That wouldn't be valid. It would be somebody who is an associate shouldn't say certain things because it might come out differently. But a real friend, she wouldn't even bring it up like that.
No, I know how to be a friend. But as an associate, I don't care if you're in my life or not. So I'm not going to care about your feelings. If I'm building a friendship, I might be like, I won't say that to her in public. But if I could give two craps about you, I'm not going to care what I ask you in public or what I ask you on TV. If that's what the difference is, I'm not going to care. We know
I mean,
that
I
there's
guess in a way I can see it, but usually, like, my associates are people that they are my associates, but I'm trying to get them to the level of trust with me. So I don't per se treat them. I may treat them a little bit different than what I treat my other friends, but I don't necessarily treat them that far off because it's somebody I'm still allowing in my life, and I'm trying to get them to that level and trying to be on that level with them. So that's why I think if I was going to do something like that, that would be somebody that I don't associate with if I'm going to do that. If I'm going to put your business out there or repeat a rumor I've heard, you're going to be not somebody that I have in my circle, around my circle.
It would be like Escalade. If Escalade had a rumor out there with her husband cheating, you're telling me you wouldn't ask her in camera? Exactly.
Look, that's a hard one. I don't just because
Exactly.
if I'm
She's an
trying to build
associate.
a friendship with this girl, no. If I'm trying to build a friendship with her, if I'm not, and I'm just like, okay, she's just around here because she's one of my friends' friends, I may say it then. But no, if I'm actually trying
Okay.
to make a friendship with her.
That's like my friend Sherry.
Mhm.
You've met Sherry and you don't care for Sherry, but you deal with her because she's in my circle. I'm using different names here. Sherry, her daughter is friends with my daughter. They've been friends since they were 4.
That is true. I don't like her. I don't like her.
So
She
if
mouth on her.
Sherry was on our group and you read a story about Sherry and you brought it up on here.
But the difference in that is without you being around, I would not be around Sherry. So yeah, I would bring it up.
See?
Absolutely.
Associates.
But I don't consider that associates. I consider I'm only around her. The only time I'm around is when I'm with you and she comes around. But outside of that,
But that's what an associate, because usually, like, coworkers that are
Somebody
associates, you
you
only hang out with
associate
them
with.
at work, and that's it.
Right.
but there's some coworkers. Now I have some coworkers who I would have did that to on camera. But then I also have some coworkers that I would not have done that to on camera.
That's because you have a deep, better friendship with them.
Different relationship with them.
Yeah.
Like we've all said, we've seen how Robin and Giselle act. Robin hasn't called Giselle out like that in front of anybody. Giselle hasn't called Robin out like that in front of them or on camera. Or if they are on camera, they're one-on-one. They have a true friendship. There's the difference. Actually, Karen and Giselle actually had a true friendship. But all that got damaged because of all the time and their bickering back and forth throughout the years on all other kinds of matters since they've been on the show.
Yeah.
But I think the violation with Karen came in. I just feel like when you know somebody's child, when you watch that child grow up and you do stuff like that and bring her kids in it. And that's what she was telling her, like, my kids were hurt. So therefore I was hurt because of what you said and how you did it. And that's what made her kind of apologize because she felt bad for the kids.
Yeah, she felt bad for the kids. But that's also part of don't be on TV faking relationships where we got Pastor, they call her Pastor Coochie Popper, is sitting here exposing their father as the cheater.
But you gotta think though, like, honestly, I don't think these type of environments, these shows, they don't help anybody's friendship because the producers, the camera crew, they're gonna cut out anything of substance, and then they're gonna give you just the drama more than likely. So you may have said one thing, and then they've edited it or they've come into it at an angle to where it looks like one thing, and then when you're watching the show, you're like, oh snap, she told me she said this, but this is what she really said. So I feel like, in a sense, we're never gonna get the true whatever about any of them, to be honest, because they, first of all, they're gonna show you what they want you to see, and then the camera's gonna sneak and get what they want you to see, and then they mash it up into a show. And if it was all wholesome, good fun, because I'm sure there's more things that they do that we don't see, but because it wasn't exciting, they don't show it.
Right.
You can't tell me people are around 24/7 and these little inserts are all you catch. And when do you have personal conversations where the cameras are always there?
Yeah, now I understand what you're saying to a certain extent, but my thing is nobody forced any of them to be on TV. And if you don't want to tell your truth, why are you on TV? Just a lot of us? Like, that's what I don't get and what I don't agree with. And I understand I'm too private of a person to ever do reality TV.
Yeah.
I don't want my man on there. I don't want my child on there. Yeah. I don't want to completely reveal my life. So I won't go on there. But if you choose to go on here, give us the real you. And they don't sit there and cry and whine and talk about, well, this is that and that and that. But you brought this.
Exactly, for all of them. Don't sit and cry when somebody diss your man, diss your whatever, this, and this. Because, like, in reality, like I said, the stuff could possibly be taken out of context. And then on top of it, you chose to be on this show. So when your stuff gets aired on national TV, you chose to be on that show. And that goes for every single one of them. You didn't have to be on the show. Like, none of this would have been, if these were your real friends and y'all weren't on the show, it would have just been aired in front of a group of friends, or it would have been aired between 2-3 friends. But because you get on national TV, and when rumors come out, regardless, because nobody would have been in their lives or worried about who they were if they weren't on the show. So your stuff would have been publicized like this. So it's kind of like one of them things where you got to have, in my opinion, a tough skin to even be on the show. Because look at, even like the Kardashians, man, they lost marriages behind them shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, because there's no privacy, so many people split up when they do YouTube couples. The shows that do all them like family shows and stuff, a lot of people end up splitting up behind it because the pressure and the things that come out on them shows is too much for a normal person to handle. So if you ain't money driven, I wouldn't do it. But because we like the drama of watching it, we thank those people who are brave enough to do it. I wouldn't do it because I ain't
I'll tell you right now, I'm not brave enough to do it. And I've been lost a lot of friendships behind it, may have lost my man behind. Well, no, because I won't ever put my man in that position. But that's
you might not, but then the cameras might sneakily come and do something. That's what I don't care for. That's why
because we gonna have a contract that he and my son are not gonna be on here. You cannot show his face, their faces, none of that. So before I do it, that's what I would do.
You see, then you'll have the rumors of people saying, "Do she even have a son and a husband?"
Let them. Because you know what? I would rather them think that I have nobody than for them to make up rumors or try to out me on camera for something. I'd rather have that than to have what they bring to the table.
But see, we do that to Robin because we don't see Juan enough. But is he really not there, or is it he just don't want to be on camera like that? It's kind of, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like this whole thing can be deceptive sometimes. Yeah. So that's why I can't get like too emotional. Like the hair comment, because it took me to real life, like brought me out. But I'm like, but they're bickering, man. I'm like, at the end of the day, they all chose to be there. So I feel bad for them, but I don't. Because I feel like I don't know what's real and what's fake, to be real. They all might be sitting up having dinner together right now. We don't know it. Because it all could be fake. But it's entertaining.
Yeah, but
I can't wait till next week. Because next week, if they show what they showed.
Actually, to be honest with you, I'd love to see an episode with nothing but the parents on it. Because you know what? The parents tell the truth when they're on there. I know, even though Giselle's dad didn't realize his mic was still on, he was on a hot mic situation, but he spoke his truth. And then, I don't know if y'all caught it, but when Karen started pulling Candace's mom away, Candace's mom was saying that Chris has not had a job since they got married. Did y'all hear her?
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, see, mama know the tea.
Yeah, because she's putting Chris on blast about that Candace is giving him money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the parents, they tell the truth. So let's get the parents on here. Let's have an episode with just the parents, parents in the confessionals. Yeah, have them each in a confessional and just let that camera roll and let's see what they say.
And you won't get everybody. And then
What do
some
you?
parents might not do that to their kid.
Some might not, and then like even Giselle's dad. I did say that he didn't even realize that he was saying it. He didn't realize his mic was on, and he said some things.
But then you got people that don't have parents either on there, so that ain't gonna work.
I mean, the ones who are there, I thought that would be understood with what I said. The ones who have parents that are still alive, let's get them onto the show.
Yeah, but if I want to hear it, I want to hear about everybody. That's what I'm saying. So I guess they need a
But you
auntie
can't.
or
But you
uncle or
can't because
something.
they're not there. So how are you going to hear? You can't.
Yeah, that's why they probably would never do nothing like that.
But the ones that are alive, those are ones I want to hear from. I want to hear from those parents because they got all the tea. They're the ones with the tea. It says, if I don't like you, no cake for you. Oh Lord.
Talking about Ashley.
Oh, yeah.
I agree, Jamel. I agree.
I heard your cake is dry, Jamel, so I ain't want none of the cake anyway. And I'm gonna have a party. I'm gonna throw a party on the same day and time as your party. How about that?
Too much.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else, but I'm sure I missed some things because I only had half of my notes tonight. But yeah.
I think it actually ended happy. We ended bad, but they ended. I think we argued more than they did in the last but they ended well, and I think that was good, which makes it interesting for what's going to happen next week. Because who said it? Wendy said something like, I wonder how long is that going to last when Giselle apologized. So we'll see how long any of those apologies last. We'll see.
Right.
Yeah. I think Stella and Karen will fall out again before probably the other ladies do.
I'm sure. They both two old ladies stuck in their ways.
Yeah,
like I told you guys, it'll be interesting to see when the tide turns because, like, in the beginning, they were actually cool and close, and Giselle has always been the outspoken person she is, but she did kind of hold Karen to a certain regard or a certain respect. So it'll be interesting to see with rewatching everything when the tide turned with them too, because even last year they weren't on the best of terms last year either.
I hate to see two really good friends fall out like that, and it just, I don't know that if I was really good friends with somebody and we fell out like that, that I could still keep hanging in the same group. One of us would have to leave. I don't think I could. Because that just would hurt too much. It's like you either always got to be mean or you always gonna feel hurt. So
right.
I probably would have left then. So I just wouldn't put myself in that situation.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is DeMel still out there? Okay, I guess he's been trolling now.
Thanks, DeMel.
No, wait, you know what? Even though I know I've called you a troll a couple of times on here, still appreciate you conversating and interacting with us. I do appreciate that. And then, Kim, do you have any final words about the show?
I think y'all about covered it.
Yeah. Well, we also want to thank you for joining us today. And as always, if you listened all the way to the end of this video, then you are the MVP for the night. And you can always join our Shady Crew by clicking on that subscribe button. And make sure you hit the like button on your way out if you didn't hit it on your way in. And as always, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. We'll see you Saturday for Life After Lockup. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, DeMel.
Yes, bye, DeMel.